What's up guys, Fremtor here, and today I want to show you how I do my filters because honestly I have a problem whenever I download a filter and I want to try and change something. It's all very chaotic. So instead I'm going to show you how I do my filters, how I keep them pretty much organized, and how I make them work for me. And if you like it, feel free to use these tips or take any aspect of it. Either way, I think my filters are pretty awesome, so I want to show you how I do them. Anyway, so first things first, obviously we need to decide on the build and what our main stats are. So I want to go for, this is going to be an auto bomber build, but I want to go with the multi-strike. So we're going to have multi-strike, we're going to have smite, we're going to have devouring orb, anomaly, and healing hands. It's pretty much what my build will consist of. Okay, I don't like volatile reversal and abyssal echoes. I can use it, but honestly I'm gonna be going for like full on mega tank. Okay, so yeah, those are my 5 abilities, and yeah, let's go into it. So what do I need? So I need attack speed, right? I need void damage, I need void spell damage, I need any spell damage. Okay, and after that, and obviously the usual health, right, stuff like that. So I usually don't type in health, I'm just looking about like what is gonna deal damage. The defensive stuffs are usually pretty obvious, but for the sake of the guide I guess I'll write health percent plus hybrid. Okay, max res, obviously, right, ward retention whenever I can get it. Okay, and then we have movement speed. All right, make it faster. But for the most part, I'm really focusing on these 4, right? Attack speed, void damage, void spell damage, and then anything that can supplement my abilities. So smite, multi-strike. Anomaly, don't need it because anomaly you don't really need extra levels, so that doesn't matter. But devouring orb, maybe we can get levels for devouring orb, that could help us. Oh, and also we need some healing effectiveness if we can get it. Okay, just for healing hands, which is probably we're gonna get from, I believe the relic has healing hands, or the helmet, which also improves your healing effectiveness. And I believe, yeah, so Helm has healing hands, and then the relic has smite, which also improves healing effectiveness, as well as the ward. So ward retention would usually be from idols, something like that, but we're gonna go into it as we do the guide. Okay, so that is pretty much the stats we're looking for, right? So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the weapon. I'm gonna be using multi-strike, but I'm gonna be doing dual wields, so we need 2 types of weapon. One is definitely gonna be the sword. So we're gonna start with item type. We're gonna choose one-handed weapon. I'm gonna go with a sword because I already have a sword. There's a unique sword that has plus multi-strike plus strike. That's our main weapon, and we're gonna want to find an exalted weapon for it. Right, so we don't really care about the subtype in this condition, but what we do care about is that it's exalted, because we need to put it inside of our multi-strike weapon. And then we're gonna look for the affixes, right? Now for the affixes, what I like to do, I like to go, okay, so we figured that out. I like to go to last epoch tools, okay, and I'm gonna go through one-handed swords, okay, and we're gonna go through the prefixes. Okay, and then what do we need? Do we need critical strike chance? Not really. If we get some, that's fine, but that's not our priority. Not multiplier, not damage over time, not fire damage, not lightning damage. We need melee attack speed, so it's called deft. So we're gonna go into last epoch and we're gonna look for deft. Boom, found deft. Oops. There we go. Okay, thought it clicked on everything melee. Okay, so melee attack speed, we got it. Now melee damage, we don't really care. We're not doing any melee damage. We just need to attack super fast to unleash as many smites as possible and to unleash as many healing hands as possible. Okay, melee physical damage, we don't care. Melee void damage, not really. Parry chance, physical damage, spell damage. Here we go, spell blade. So another one would be, oops. Okay, spell blade, right? And there it is. Okay, we added that, and then the last one is abyssal void damage. Peace. Yep. Okay. Right. Now we're gonna go through the suffixes. Okay, and for the suffixes, what do we have here? Chance to blind, chance to bleed, chance to apply frailty. We don't care about any of this. Poison, no. Shred armor, maybe. Okay. Damage over time, dodge rating, fire penetration, health on kill, health on melee hit, stun chance. Okay. Don't really see anything really that we need here. Void penetration, we can take that. So of the almond, and the other one was penetration. Looks like that's the only one. Not penetration, shred. That was the only one that seemed useful. Okay, armor shred reduces there. And this is called acid. Okay, so we look for acid. Chance to shred armor confirmed. So now we have more than 4 affixes on it. Usually I try to go for the 4 for the ultimate, but doesn't matter too much. If you have 3, you have 3. So what I do is, with at least 4 of these affixes, I'm gonna recolor it, select the color. I like to go for green for the most acceptable one, and then emphasize it, and then I update it. And then what I do is, I make 2 or 3 copies of it. I start to do only 2 copies, but I used to do 3. And what we're gonna do is, we're gonna make it less restricted. So we're gonna do 3 affixes. We're gonna select the color, gonna change the color, and we're gonna update it, and then we're gonna do the same, make it to 2. Okay, and then we select the color, and then we change it to, I like the blue one, as you know, it's cold, it's not even close to what we need, but it's something, right? For the most part, you can also use this to, the blue one, usually for me, it's something that I like to shatter. So what we can do in the case of the blue one, in case of shattering it, because likely this is a bad exalted, what we can do here, we actually can remove the exalted, because I don't really care about it, and we can get any of those affixes, because once we do get a purple or an exalted, basically we will at least have enough shattered affixes that we could actually max out the exalted one if we need to. Okay, so that's the sword ready. Now what's important about filters, the top one is the most important one. So for example, if let's say a one-handed sword drop right now with all 4 affixes, and I had the blue on the top, I would actually see it as blue, not as green, because this one would count for first. So you always want to have the most important one at the top and the least important one at the bottom. Okay. Another important thing that you always want to do, this is what, at least that I do, I actually want to hide all items, and this would be at the bottom. And then at the top of it, I actually want to hide all items that are not my class. Okay, so this would be at the top here. However, right above it, I still want to show all of the items that are unique and set items. Okay, so I will always see unique and set items, even if they are Primalist, Mage, Acolyte, or Rogue specific items. However, I will not see any Primalist, Mage, Acolyte, or Rogue specific items for any sword that I drop. If there's like, obviously there are no swords that are class specific, but if there was, I would not see those swords. Okay, so these are very important. All right, and so let me fast forward to the completed guide, and yeah, you will see how it looks like in the end. Okay, and here we go. These are the final touches. As I said before, we just want to hide everything that has to do with a different class. So Primalist, Mage, Acolyte, Rogue. We want to hide that. And then we also want to hide, so we want to show all the uniques and set. Boom, and there you have it. Okay, so this is the final filter. And again, makes it very easy to change something as well, because everything is separated to its own category. So if I ever want to change something, let's say, I don't know, I want to change something in the body armors, I go to the green one, right? I change an affix, right? Whichever one I need. I do an update, and then I just delete the other two body armors, and then I do again copy, and then I change it back to 3, etc., and change the color as well. Okay, so pretty straightforward, very easily organized. And again, if you really have like certain affixes, like let's say you're looking for certain affixes that you would look for, you know, just straight up shattering, you can just add a rule and don't even add an item type, just add the affixes that you think are most important, namely usually Ox is very important, Hybrid is very important, levels to something, level of, right? Then go here and like, let's say all of these, you just wanna be able to see them whenever they drop, right? I'm just gonna, there we go, right? So let's say I just want to see these guys, so I'm gonna throw them in here, and then I'm just gonna recolor this to something like this, confirm, and I'm gonna emphasize. I just like emphasize, you don't have to obviously, and you just want to find one of these, so anytime you find them, then you can, you know, it will still pop up. Honestly, what I would say here, if you're already looking for skills, and you know, just go for, I would just go for all the skills, so you will have shards for them whenever, right? And then you would get them. And again, hybrid, HP, and percent HP are probably the most important suffixes you can find in the game, along with the skill ones. So you would put that at the top. This is the most important thing to find, and yeah, there you go. Or you can, no, yeah, I can't put it under here because then it will disappear. So if I put it like under here, for example, because I thought like, maybe I'll put it at the bottom. But now the problem is when one of those skills will pop up, and this is why I usually don't do it. I don't try to look for separate affixes for different classes, or even for more sentinel classes while I am farming, even though it's a valid option. The reason is because I just don't like the fact that if, let's say an armor drops and it has one of these level of affix on it, but it's also like a perfect you know, roll, it won't appear as green, it will appear as orange. Now again, technically it's very semantics. Personally, it shouldn't bother me, because I'll be like, okay, I'll pick it up either way, I see it, and then when I pick it up, I'm like, oh shit, this is actually should be a green, not an orange, right? But for the most part, I usually don't mind about these ones. I usually skip them. So yeah, anyways, that is pretty much how I do my filters. If you enjoyed it, you know, do the YouTube thing, and obviously leave a comment below if you have even better ideas for how you do your filters and suggestions on how I can improve my filters. Or if you liked it, then you liked it. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.